can affect us in our everyday life. Talking about marriage and property rights. What do you want to know regarding this? If you have any questions as well, marriage and property rights, 0772162651. If you tuned in the last time, you know that we really need to get into it, to be enlightened and equipped with the right information, because our news what walks on hapana changu. 0772 hit us up.
We can do it our way, and if love's just a game, then come and play. Aziza, meet me on the floor tonight. Show me how to move like the water in between the dancing lights. Be mine, Aziza. Like a magnet on me. I don't care what they say. We can do it our way. And if love's just a game, then come and play. Aziza, meet me on the floor tonight. Show me how to move like the water in between the dancing lights. Be mine, Aziza. Meet me on the floor tonight. Show me how to move like the water in between the dancing lights. Be mine, Aziza.
Candy on the Morning Galaxy, right here on Star FM.
You can watch me moonwalk when I'm coming for the moolah, and you know I'm up all night, late night. You can meet me in the late night, late I'm falling. Moonwalk when I'm coming for the moolah, and you know I'm up all night, late night. You can meet me in the late night, late I'm falling. As pretty as it sounds, as pretty as it gets. Wrote a couple songs trying to earn a private jet. I had the couple again thinking that I ain't lit, ain't ish. If a blunt moon walking on the shit. Sorry, I won't cuss cause I look pretty young. I am pretty young. Trying to get it. I be moving fast, I don't see where I'm heading. Gotta have it, baby, I'm forever ready. I'm the champ, every day it's getting heavy. Don't text me, tell me that you never got it clear. When I mention that my dream looks clearer and the future's kinda near. You can watch me moonwalk when I'm coming for the moolah, and you know I'm up all night, late night. You can meet me in the late night, daily I'm falling. Moonwalk when I'm coming for the moolah, and you know I'm up all night, late night. You can meet me in the late night, daily I'm falling. Tonight I'll have a couple drinks, couple friends, I made a couple trends. I lost a lot of friends, doesn't make sense. Wanna be me, and you need a genie just to make your wish come true. Eeny, meeny, you gon' bet they gon' choose me. Look, I'm never in the backseat, 6'7" trying to make it neat. I came from beneath, and I'm gonna moonwalk, and I do it on repeat. Gonna moonwalk, and I do it on repeat. I repeated it. You can watch me moonwalk when I'm coming for the moolah, and you know I'm up all night, late night. coming for the moolah. And you know I'm up all night, late night. You can meet me in the late night, daylight. I'm vibing, moonwalk.
Shout out to her, young Gemini,
I'm up all night,
putting in the work, hey? Such a fan. Moonwalk.
daylight. I'm vibing.
For the play G Ed Sheeran, Azizam, Star FM, the leading urban radio station in Zimbabwe. How are you doing? Kariseka Mandi. We'll be getting into legal matters in a few minutes' time.
Every day across our communities, there are heroes among us. The teacher who goes the extra mile, the nurse who never gives up, the young innovator changing lives, the neighbor who lends a helping hand. The Herald Community Heroes and Heroines Awards are back, celebrating Zimbabwe's outstanding individuals and organizations making a real difference. We are calling on corporates, brands, and partners to come on board as sponsors and be part of honoring those who uplift, inspire, and build our nation. Your support will help shine a light on the true champions of our communities, the unsung heroes who deserve to be recognized. Join hands with The Herald and let's celebrate the power of community, compassion, and excellence. For sponsorship opportunities, call 0772-331156 now or email mzinduru@zimpapers.co.zw. The Herald Community Heroes and Heroines Awards, celebrating everyday champions.
Easing you into the day. The Morning Galaxy on Star FM.
Okay, Nyari is in the building. We get into legal matters right here on the Morning Galaxy on Star FM. This is the part of the show where we give practical advice on legal issues that can affect us in our everyday lives. Hey, at Volvo.
Hey, what's up, Miss Weekend?
Missed you so much. Missed you much, eh?
Missed you more. Lovely hair. Guys, you need to be in the studio. She's looking hot as usual.
Wow, thank you very much. You know, I always love your hair.
Good.
And I don't know how you do it every morning to then... yeah?
Yeah. Keep it natural.
Keep it natural.
It's always best. You know,
We love it.
I should never
We love it, Tony.
Oh, yeah. You had to go there. You just had to go there.
So we're talking about marriage and property rights. We're also live on Facebook. Yeah. You can join the conversation as well. So maybe just a quick recap and then we'll
Yes.
continue from where we left off.
Okay, yeah, tinakumbothara nyaya dzinotemesa musoro, you know. We try to be relevant to what people worry about every day. And so we have been talking about marriage and property rights. And the confusion that Zimbabweans have concerning the property rights that exist when a person gets married. So what we said was, and I'm going to say it once, listen twice, is in Zimbabwe, our marriage regime is out of community of property.
Yes.
That means when you get married to someone who has their own property, that property remains their sole and exclusive property. Saka, in Zimbabwe, the whole thing of gold diggers, it doesn't really exist. You know, to say, oh yeah, ndawana mbinga yangu and I'm getting married, he's got a house in Borodale. Saka, now I also have a house in Borodale. No, you live. You live in Borodale.
In his house.
In his house.
Full stop.
Sure. Unless a property is in your name, it's not yours. That's the long and short of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you get married to someone and they have a property or you have a property, that doesn't change the ownership of the property. The marriage has no effect on the ownership of property. Yes.
You know, bent in and then eyeing this woman, but you know, she has a lot of assets and
Yes.
things,
Yes.
and I need that.
Miss
Uno
Vikendi.
wasatofira
One of them, Miss Vikendi, it's actually real. Hey, there's a girl who had her money. You know, I think she was in her late 30s or early 40s or something. She passed away, and she was dating a young guy, like one of the young guys. And
Oh.
and and you know what? He got there at the funeral. You know, they had a marriage shower, but they were living together. You know, she can say, no, let's check pamateto deeds good anga kaiswa here or anything, you know. I want to know anga's not on anything, but I chengetwa, you know, I take it hembe achi budapa Facebook akachena chichi and stuff. I promote to drive pizza, you know, and so guys, even if you get married to that person who's looking after you, but your name is not on the title deed. It's not city council. It's not on the agreement of sale. That property is not yours. And then what makes it even worse? So we're talking about entrance into marriage. And let's know that. Go on.
I was about to ask my entry guy. My entry, right?
My entry.
But then how about when we are now married and then murumo wangu vanotenga property yedu?
Yes,
but then I'm just assuming kuti since anotenga ndiyedu tese.
Yeah, that is the one that causes great pandemonium. Iyoyo, that's another one. When you get into that marriage and you are now in that marriage, okay, you are going to stand here, and they remain your exclusive properties. But when you now buy a property, right, within the family, if that property has got only his name, the law takes it that it is his sole and exclusive property.
Are you serious?
I am for real. So people need to know that.
Like, so we're together, we're married, we're
Wakatoisa
legally married.
Kawanda.
Yes.
You know, yes. I had a lady. We have women who are inspired by culture. Kuti aiwa baba ka baba ndiye mtungamiri wemba. Then we have those who are inspired by religion. You know, kuti no is the head of the home, headship. You know, saka baba ndo vano ndo atakuisa ndo msoro wemba ndo vatakuisa pa property. Yes. In terms of religion, kuchurch ichokwadi. But when it comes to the law, it's a whole different ball game. The law looks at the person whose name is on the property. Please, So I have a lady who once came to me. I think they bought like 13 properties. I've got a very progressive couple, you know. But she had not been very progressive legally, you know. Okay. Kunana United Nations, you know, those kind of companies. So she actually, by calculation, she had contributed about 85% Pama properties. And I think it was only maybe 2-3 that there's some company and one would trust, but the balance is some Sarababa. And then it came to the point where now they were divorcing. You know,
the marriage was being dissolved.
The marriage is being dissolved. The minute the man could see kuti so he started selling off the properties, and he started donating them to trusts. And he could without recourse to her, because she's not on the property, so she's not considered you know, an owner of the property, even though akaisa 85%. So that was so hectic. Okay, join a trustee to the divorce actions. But he had already done that. You know what I mean? But towards divorce. And I think my lawyers could say, this property is in your name, so you can do with it whatsoever you want. And people can be selfish like that. And that's the reality of when a marriage breaks down. People are not
empathy.
Yes.
You know, but then akaisa mari vanhu
and vanhu outside the country ndiye ari kutumira mari arutenga mareceipts arikutenga achipuwa mareceipts zviri kuiswa musita mangu inini you know saka ndina mareceipts okutaridza court kuti ndindaindotenga but mari yacho yebva kupi it's so hectic what is happening. Saka I think the whole point of this, it's real, and
what should be done?
The whole point of this conversation is to just get everybody aware and alert. Kuti guys, ka muri mu marriage momo. No. Musanyeperana kana kunyeperwa nema marriage officers, and you know, I have nothing against marriage officers, but I just wish they could educate themselves more about the law before they make declarations. Kune vanhu vari kuchata and the the congregation manje vamvototi izvezvi kubva nhasi muri nyama imwe mazvinzwa okay, and zvese zvanga zviri zvako iwe zvazvo uyo makusheya zvese half. That's in a perfect world, and maybe that's in South Africa, where the marriage regime is in community of property. But in Zimbabwe, it's out of community of property. Saka a lot of women vari kugara vane comfort yekuti ndine muchato mwana shoti ndine 511, you know, and because ndine muchato, it means kuti imba ndeyedu ende imba yemuchato. akusisina chinhu chinonzi imba yemuchato, because what used to happen is musati maenda kucity council and kuti when we're coming from 1980 and then vanhu vakunzi vakupiwa dzimba and whatnot, vanhu maifanira kuenda nemuchato wenyu and your marriage certificate, then mopiwa stand on reserve prize yeku council, right? Saka yenzi imba yemuchato. But if you notice the reality of that is kuti even at that time ainyorwa ndibaba, because remember taiti women at that point in 1980 they didn't have legal capacity to own property. Okay, so a lot of them kwainyorwa ana baba, ana mai nevana vainyorwa ari ma-occupants. So even if you go to city council now, you will see vari kunyorwa ndana baba most of the time, unless the woman insists or something, nokuti Africa ofungwa, and then imunonyorwa muri ma-occupants. Vamwe vanonyorwa vakanzi power of attorney, vamwe vanonyorwa vakanzi next of kin. Hi, I know we've said this before. All those terms, they don't say anything about you owning the house or co-owning the house. Unless your name is put as a co-owner. You are not a co-owner, you're an occupant.
What's going on to benefit because munhu anga atove deceased and
perhaps, which is like where we wanted to take it today. Let's get to divorce. So here we're just talking about entrance into marriage. What are the property rights? It's still out of community of property. Chachiri changu, it remains mine.
So there's a message here. In community of property out of the country. Was my life here in Zim, and the properties are here. The courts here, anoshandaire, ne our law here, or they look at the type of marriage.
They look at the type of marriage and where you got married.
Oh.
So if you got married in South Africa, then automatically the laws of South Africa apply to all the property you have wherever in the world. Chiromne property to Venezuela, Chiromne property to America.
Community.
It's in community because that is your marriage.
Okay.
So where you buy property mustn't affect. But you'll see again, Kuti, if you contract a marriage here and it's out of community of property, Mondatenga property to South Africa, it remains out of community of property.
Atenga wacho.
So because that is the marriage regime that you contracted under, right? So people need to understand that. And then when it comes to divorce, the courts have been very progressive, and I say that I have to support the courts because I'm a lawyer, but the courts have been super progressive because essentially, and Parliament as well, because we've got the Matrimonial Causes Act, which then says kuti, okay, kana takutarisa divorce manje achatasutiri mstamani kutakaitenga ndiani chikazodini, right? As long as you guys were in a marriage together, property katotengwa muri marriage imomo, what's going to happen is we are going to list every single bit of property that was bought when you were married. Okay, and then we see what is a fair way to distribute, right? So mnemba kubudiriro, mnemba kwavundel, mne stand kuglaudina, that's fine, right? And tomboti dzese ziri mstama baba, right? And he didn't dispose of it during your marriage. You guys got to the point of divorce. The court will consider all the property matrimonial property for the purposes of divorce.
Okay.
And so, and this is for fairness. And the court will consider, it will not distribute half-half automatically. It won't, because remember, we're still out of community of property. If it were in community of property, Rangotrama properties what it nepakati.
Okay.
But this here, they consider everything, all the property they listed down, and then they look at your contribution. Okay, this is at divorce.
All right.
And when we're talking contribution, we're talking direct and indirect contribution. Dopanozoya fairness nemoyo,
Wasaka vanhu vanozomiririrwa ipapo.
So itongoti baba ndo imba iri mustara baba. So the court will then look, and we've been married say for 15, 17 years or 25 years, whatever it is. The court will look at the contributions that the parties made, but not only to the building of the house, but to the building of the family. Saka tongoti inini ndanchitoke inini ndiri kuendesa vana kuchikoro, right? Ndiye ndiri kubhadhira ma-school fees evana. Iye ndiye akatora loan kubank akatenga ende ndiye aito service andangana sendra ndakaisa uko. The court will consider that I was contributing kuvana. maybe I've even gone too far. Let's say I am a stay-at-home mom. Kare pepe arrange my housewife. I chance my housewife. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Just to be clear. So say I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I was not working, at all. Babandu angwachanda. I was looking after the family. I was making sure kuti everything is proper. The kids are doing good. My piano lessons ndindukwenda navo, homework ndindukwabatra, but financially andina mari andakaisa. Okay? The court will consider that contribution iyoyo as an indirect contribution. And depending on the length of the marriage, the court may decide kuti indirect contribution yangu yandakaita for the past 15 years is good enough to warrant me 50% of the matrimonial assets.
Also, okay, 50%.
It can be up to 50%. So the court can say 15%, can say 25%, can say 45%.
What do they look at?
The court
Just the efforts.
They look at the contribution.
The contribution.
But what I have seen with the courts, not to be presumptuous or anything, is kuti usually kana akangona marriage andida angutaura something that's definitive in terms of years, but kana in a long enough, duration, erutaridza kuti vanhu they were actually intending, but for zvakazoitika izvi, they were intending to live the rest of their lives together. The courts usually avatombozotarisi kuti wakazoitei wakazoitei. They'll just generally say 50%. Yeah. So what I've noticed with lawyers, when they are issuing summons for divorce, they'll just claim 50%. Then it's almost up to the other person to show how come I don't deserve 50%, even if none of the properties is in my name. All right. So a lot of fairness. You can see, but that's sad because people are protected more in terms of property at divorce than during the subsistence of the marriage, But that is the reality people need to know. We're not saying that divorce could go on your 50% or whatever the court will award you, but just know kuti that is the reality of the law in Zimbabwe.
Kuti submission pa now your property pa
You couldn't have said it better.
Tiny submission. I see you.
Submission
has to be there as well.
Submission But where it comes to property, make sure when you're buying a property, your name is on that property. That is the only way you can show kuti that property is yours. You co-own it, and that's the only way you can protect it from disposal. Remember, when a person owns property, they can do whatsoever they want with it. When we say whatsoever, we mean I don't want to establish a trust or donate a property into a trust. And remember, Kanayamu trust, it now belongs to somebody else. It doesn't belong to your husband anymore. It now belongs to that trust.
So, got a message here saying, what about properties which are placed under a trust during marriage in which the spouse is excluded so as to avoid an equal split of properties when divorcing? Are they considered during divorce?
Usually no, because remember, a person can do with the property whatsoever they may, right? Usually no, but you can apply to court for that property to be considered, especially if the court can see that it was done maliciously or with the purposes of defrauding you. Maybe but ndiwakatenga property, but makaisa starake muchinzwisisana or vaidonata, there's an unfairness that's going to happen. So you can apply to court. It's very tricky. Like I was telling you the other time, I'm going to have to rush with this because of our time.
We need to continue.
We actually need to continue. But remember what I was mentioning to you, Kuti, a husband, anova ndiane imba iri mustamake, over aita girlfriend, vonyengerana kuti tengesa imba ndiri kugara mudzimai nevana. And the wives have gone to court to try and stop that sale. And the courts have consistently not given those interdicts. So it's kind of like the same. Whether a person wants to sell the property or they want to put the property in a trust, or they want to put the property under a mortgage, or they want to bequeath it will. Nansira, my loving mother, to your exclusion. All those things, the courts usually don't like to interfere, because then you're interfering with property law. Because unnecessary property must be able to do whatsoever they want with the property. You get what I mean? But the courts do make an exception sometimes. No. This is actually being done with the intention to defraud the spouse, then they can say, okay, we'll put a caveat on it until maybe the matter is resolved at divorce. Then you're so don't think that is end game, apana hope. You can approach the court, but usually is to put a caveat on it, which is some kind of an interdict, especially if it is pending divorce proceedings.
Okay, check out time.
I know, it just disappears, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have more to then look at.
Yeah,
People really need to be educated. We need to be educated.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those who want to get in touch with you, Advocate
Advocate Nyaradzo Maphosa on all social media handles. 796060 is my landline. Cell phone number. 771-111-099, 771-111-099. One day my text more than my calls, and we carry on with the conversation.
Looking forward to next week's session as well. We were live on Facebook. You can go watch and share with someone as well. Taking our time to 11 o'clock, Star FM. It is time for the news.
This is Zimpepa's radio